Hello and welcome to this Prelude number 1 by Villa-Lobos video. We're going to be diving into the first section's beautiful cello melody. I'm going to show you the little hacks and fingerings that you need to bring out the melody and to make it sing across the tenor range. This is all off the back of the Villa-Lobos 12 and 12, a challenge that I did last year, so there will be references to the Etudes by Villa-Lobos that'll help you get this piece up and running. Without further ado, let's check out the first main right-hand pattern that'll get this prelude up and running. Welcome to this right-hand focus micro-study. The main goal here is to work on the right-hand fine control. So we're going to split it up. This is obviously a cello melody, where the thumb is playing the cello line or the melody and IMA are playing the accompaniment. The cello melody needs to be nice and clear, it needs to be thick tone, so no. You could use rest strokes if you wanted to, that is optional, or you can use the flesh. More flesh on your thumb. There is actually quite a few different ways of attacking that. But anyway, the melody starts at 7 with a, and straight off the bat you're going to have to do right hand fine control there because it's not, it's, make sure that you slip past the E string and focus all the energy into that octave E at 7th fret. A slide up or a gliss, so you need to push using your elbow and then again, so make sure that your elbow is engaged, actively helping you, and I mean I am exaggerating it, but actively helping you push that note up the string. Keep it nice and light. And make sure that you have some vibrato on. So the vibrato is a locked wrist, loose finger and rolling round. Try and match the vibrato to the speed of the piece as well. There's nothing worse sometimes than playing slow vibrato when you're... Anyway, that is the main melody. Underneath that we have so Villa-Lobos has been very clear. There is a rest on the first beat, so it goes 1 and 2 and. I'm using full planting to nail that rest and to make it very clear. The whole purpose of those notes is not to stand out. Do not do that. It is to sit underneath that cello melody and push it along rhythmically and harmonically. The entire first section is just an E minor chord with a fantastic melody on E minor harmonic scale. So, first right hand focus micro study sounds like this. And we're going to stop there. If you need to get a metronome or something going, getting that rhythm right, and then again doing practicing that, and then making sure that your thumb is controlling the melody properly, giving you good tone, and you're not doing, again from the beginning, it's, so you need to slide past 6 and really make sure that you nail that octave E. Let's check out the first section all together in the next micro study. Welcome to micro study number 1. Now I'm not going to step through all of the melody in session because you've already looked at it in the last micro study. I'm just going to go through the fingering that I use, and we will move into the real technical focus of that, which is going to be bar number 6. So opening, I use the first finger to get that B to E gliss, but Villa-Lobos has suggested 3. The choice is yours. Again, try and focus your energy into the E on the 7th fret. And we have 3rd finger on an F sharp at 9, 4th finger on a G, A, 7th fret, 1st finger, B. Now, the thing to keep in mind with this prelude is from this point, there is those set of notes repeat 3 times, and on each repeat from the B it goes to a D for the first time, it then goes to a E on the second, and then an F sharp. Each time that melody comes back, there is always a different high note or climax to it. Accompaniment bubbling away in the background, this is what that all sounds like. Now I'm going to stop there because the next bit is a jump, and this is the first sort of big gliss. We have a 2 to 9 gliss, and your job is to try and bring your first finger as close to your 3rd finger on the B. So I would come off at the A sharp. The next technical challenge with that is you're going to have to come off playing the melody, and play the melody with an I finger due to the open E bass with that. And then your I finger is going to join your M and A again on the accompaniment. So that is the first sort of hurdle there. Next, in bar 6, we have double stop. So we've got 3rd finger anchoring down there at 9, and around it we're going to put a G and B with the 4th finger, F sharp at bar 9 with the 3rd finger and the 2nd finger, and then E at bar 7. So again, your 3rd finger stays still, 2nd finger, 1st finger. Underneath that all, we have open E and B, open E and B. So your I finger is going to drop out of the accompaniment. Almost like a little cadence because we're moving into the next chord of this section. So from the B it sounds like this. And you're into the first real harmonic change of this section. So at bar 8 we have octaves again, A, and then a half bar at the 5th fret. Your 3rd finger is then just going to lift up, and your half bar is going to come off. So that is the only change at that bar. So leave that on for as long as possible because that's a melody. Accompaniment, 3rd finger lifts up, E, 1st finger comes up. So you get that wonderful C clashing against the B, and then your 3rd finger is going to slide up to a G at 10. From this point, your 3rd finger is going to slide up to a G, and your 4th finger and your 2nd finger are going to come on. So 4th finger underneath it at fret 10 on the F, and your 2nd finger is holding down a B, the same as the open string. So don't get confused, there are 2 Bs there, and Villa-Lobos has clearly labeled 2 Bs. So from the A minor chord, your 3rd finger is going to then slide down to an F sharp and stay in the same shape. have the melody there, and then underneath the accompaniment does this. And it's just easier to think of it as a finger movement. So same shape from the previous bar, shift it down, 2 quavers, first finger on, second finger off, second finger down, 1 string. And then if you can, try and gliss that F sharp. And I'm going to step through the next, the B7 in the next micro study. Alright, this is the turnaround bars. We've moved into a B7 chord, and B7 obviously naturally wants to go to E. And so we've shifted down from the high F. Second finger slides down, stays on as the guide. B with the D sharp with the first finger, and an A with the third finger. Open A, fourth finger on a G natural, second finger comes up, D sharp stays down. It's an anchor for this entire section pretty much. Wonderful chord there. So it's G augmented. And you can pre-prepare then your second and third finger for the F and B. So if I do that slowly again, from the B7 chord we have a B, again making sure it's not, but that is a bass note, it's not a melody note. And then your third finger is going to slide into the second repeat of the melody. And the main thing is just to make sure that your fourth finger, from this point, your fourth finger is doing a little bit of a jump between a G and an A. But if you've got these 2 fingers prepped, it's really quite easy. If, however, you haven't, you're going to be trying to put down 2 fingers and move a fourth finger at the same time. So try and make sure that the F and B are pre-prepared throughout this, and that the D sharp pretty much stays on. Because it's just screaming to her. And that is all Villa-Lobos is doing. And then we're into the melody again for the second time. Alrighty, welcome to the next micro study. This is the second time repeat. I'm not going through all that again. We're just going to go straight from the B to the E. And that is quite a fantastic jump. So it's a 6 fret jump with your third finger. And you can hear the intonation on my guitar is going to squeal a little bit that high. In fact, it's going to squeal even higher once we do that. But it's okay, it's only one note. It's not like, say, one of the other later etudes. So the main thing is to laser ahead here. And again, you can obviously come off the thumb playing just the melody and pluck your open E with the right hand thumb. But on this time, I actually prefer, because I've got time, to pluck it with my left hand so that I can stay consistently toned here. It's not a difficult thing, it just requires a little bit of practice. Here we've got a C sharp, and then we have the next 1 to 3 gliss, which is from a G at fret 5 all the way back up to C sharp. So if I do that all together from the B, and then we're into the next next micro study. So again, once you've learned the melody and you've got the accompaniment rock and rolling and you're not worried about separating the voices, it's just a case of learning where the melody goes on each repeat. Alright, this really is the big technical challenge here for this little micro study. So we are now at bar 19. Okay, so the main tip here is second finger stays down, slide into fifth, 1, 2, 1, 3 and 4, change around it, and then you've got to slide back up. The other little tip or little hack that I use, you see my first finger comes down, and then we're back into just open string accompaniment, so it's nice and easy after that. Another big shift, laser ahead, and then we're into the next section. Relatively easy bits here. The main thing is to take these bars and practice them in isolation and then put everything back together so little chunks build up into bigger chunks, bars into phrases and so forth. We'll take a look at all of the rest in the next video.